how do you know when your ads are actually performing?
Ooh, that's a loaded question for sure. I think the first thing that every advertiser needs to first realize is that you need to have a goal for every single campaign that you're setting. And also, depending on where you're at in the product lifecycle, for instance, if you're launching a product, that's very different from you scaling a product, right? So let's use launching a product, for instance, as a good opportunity to talk through. When you're launching a product, you might have different goals, right? Your first goal might be, I want to run my ads and I want to push as much organic rank as possible. Therefore, my goal might be running my campaigns at 100% ACoS. Now, how do I assess that? Well, I'm going to be looking into Campaign Manager, making sure I'm assessing on a daily basis. That's really, really important in a launch. But as you continue to grow and you're running different match types, for instance, like exact, broad, phrase, you can use reports like a search term report, which is super powerful because those broad matches, those phrase matches are also going to give us an opportunity to figure out what keywords are working in those campaigns that we can then go and scale. And as we go into the scaling phase, your goal might then be, well, how do I break even? Or how do I drive profit? And that number starts going down and down and down. So building those goal-based strategies based off of what exactly you're trying to achieve is so, so important. So there's no one size fits all ultimately, but using the tools at your disposal are so important to assess the data that is actually coming in.
And what kind of data do you specifically look at? Let's say your campaign manager first, and then from a report standpoint second.
Well, I think ROAS is a big metric. I actually don't use ROAS too often. I like to look at ACoS and specifically break even ACoS because that's kind of a good benchmark. If my campaign is at break even, I know that my ads are at least, netting me $0. If they're below break even, we're profitable. Yeah, right. Now, if in a launch, for instance, my goal is to get organic rank, I know that if I'm pushing organic rank, I'm making profit on the back end by getting organic sales. So super powerful. I think another really, really key metric is click-through rate. Now, click-through rate and conversions as well are so important because it tells you that you have the right products.
Yeah.
If your click-through rate is good, well, it could vary, right? So click-through rates will vary based off of the word that you're choosing or keyword that you're targeting. Because if you're in a more broad campaign or a broad target, your click-through rate naturally will be lower. But if you're doing, in our world, we call that a long tail keyword, something more specific, your click-through rate will likely be higher because you're talking to somebody that is specifically looking for something that is a little bit more niched. And conversion rate tells us that same story. It tells us that our offer is nailed down, we have it right, and we're relating to that customer because in a perfect world, our product solves a problem.
Yeah.
If we solve a problem, then our offers right, people are happy, they want to continue to buy it. But I know you're going to have a unique perspective on that as well.
Yeah, 100%. So to wrap this up, I truly believe that advertising can only perform with a good product. In other words, a bad product with good marketing isn't going to grow your sales. So I personally think that starting from the very beginning and doing all the research on the front end then equates to the success of your product when it comes to advertising. And I think personally, Amazon makes it extremely easy for us to be able to look at the data, reverse engineer it, figure out where we want to spend our time, energy, and money so that we can then scale that further. I love what you said about goal-oriented approach because I truly believe that as well. At first, it's rank, and then it could be profitability. Maybe you want to do more research for scale. So understanding what your goals are, not only for that product, that launch, but for your business as a whole, maybe on a quarterly and annual basis, is going to be so huge.